Hello, Bigfoot enthusiasts. Scott here from Blue Mountain Bigfoot Research. Oh, I did it again from Squatch America. America. Like our backdrop. Hi, guys.
And I'm Hannah, the domestic goddess in the panty wagon.
Yes. So, how are we tonight, peeps?
I hope you're all going to enjoy the fixed video. We figured it out. Tell them what we did for all of them last week after the show.
I don't know what we did something.
We sat in front of these computers for an hour.
Yes. Yeah, we did. We sat here for a long time, and we did a lot of DuckDuckGo searches and a lot of searching videos on how to fix this. So I think we fixed it.
Yeah, so drop in the chat if you are seeing a clear picture with little to no buffering. Please, we want to know. We want to make sure you guys are getting the best experience possible.
So I think we're doing good. Well, there's that, and I think our audio is a little loud. Okay, so
yes, please just give us feedback on your experience right now, this moment.
So where we are at today, we're going to be talking about that in a second, but we are traveling. We're on the move again. We are no longer in South Dakota.
Oh,
sad.
But the happy dappy is we are official South Dakotans now.
We are
licensed card carrying South Dakotans.
We are. Yay.
Someday we will buy us a patch of land and build us our own little house on the prairie.
Yeah, that's what that's the plan. Okay. Yes, that's probably the plan. We actually love South Dakota. But we are no longer in South Dakota. But let me tell you, we drove today, pulling our 34-foot camper in some of the worst wind conditions I have ever driven.
Even as a commercial truck driver?
It was pretty bad. I mean, we burned an entire tank of gas in 98 miles because we were driving uphill with 40-mile-an-hour winds
in our face,
and sometimes on our side, but depending on where you turned on the road, but mostly in our face. And we burned an entire tank of gas in 98 miles. In fact, this is what it felt like. So if you see us do this every once in a while,
we've had some pretty hard winds, even being parked here.
Yeah, where we're parked now. Dun dun dun. Where are we? Well, let me jump ahead. That we are in. I'll give you a hint. We're in Wyoming now. We're going to be making our way to Idaho for a little bit, but
a very brief little bit.
Brief little bit. But to give you an idea of where we're at, we are just north of Medicine Bow, the Medicine Bow area. And the Medicine Bow Mountains is a pretty awesome place. As far as the Native American culture goes, and keeping with our now future plans to be dealing with Native American Bigfoot for a very long time now. In fact, I can give you a little hint. The reason you're not seeing any Footprint Fridays coming up is because I'm working on some longer, more detailed. Yeah. What?
Okay, so I misspoke last week. They weren't going to start. Sorry, I misspeak every now and again.
You're leaning the wrong way.
I'm leaning the wrong way.
You need to lean towards me. Okay, there you go.
I misspeak every now and again,
Yes.
And he has to love me anyway.
Yes, I do. But the reason we're doing that is because we are going to be taking, and I'm putting together some longer, more detailed Bigfoot videos but I want to be very professional about it, and I want to be more uh,
Intentional?
intentional and in depth in what we're talking about. And we're going to be doing Bigfoot videos that are state by state, Native American driven, um, and well put together. And we want to do it from where we're at and with interviews and what we can do. Also, on top of that, we're also going to do interviews with you guys, and whenever we're in an area and we're going to be letting people know and setting up like town halls and meetups and whatever coming up very shortly. So we can interview people, and those will be more like the regular Footprint Fridays that we've had with interviews and stuff, and maybe even having some people on this show on Thursday night interviews, if we can do Skype interviews with people and do that more often.
Speaking of people, I want to give our hellos immediately to Gordon and Dale and Johnny, who are all in the chat tonight. And I don't understand. Can you guys please contact Al? Do you know what Al is?
Who Al is?
Who Al is?
I think we do.
Do you know Al?
Sounds familiar.
Johnny, could you please shoot us an email at
squatchoregon.com.
Yeah.
Or squatchoregon@gmail.com.
Squatch America.
Well, that too. Either one.
Yeah. Shoot us an email. Honestly, I'm gonna be really super honest. I'm gonna things go by on the chat really fast, and here's a YouTube secret: the chats aren't saved. Once we go off, the chats are gone. So if we don't get it in an email, it's like me not writing something down in my calendar, and it's just the black hole of it never happened. So I'm gonna put our emails in here.
Yeah. So that's a lot better for us anyway to do that.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be talking about this evening, dun dun dun.
Would you stop that?
I'm so excited.
I know.
You're killing me, Smalls. Okay.
I still have never seen that movie.
You need to.
Well, you keep saying that.
All right, so we are in the heart of Crow territory, the Crow Nation, a very proud and lovely people that, in fact, the crow, as far as that goes, is kind of my spirit animal, because I have done a spirit walk and stuff years ago, the whole Sweat Lodge thing, and I enjoyed it very much, and my spirit animal happens to be the crow, but we're talking about the Crow Nation. Now, sad to say, I have done a lot of research, and the problem is we've been in this area for one afternoon, so I haven't been able to track down and talk to any of the Crow elders or any of the Crow Nation people at all to talk to them about Bigfoot legends. But doing my courtesy, internet search and looking for Crow Nation information about Bigfoot, I came up with a big old goose egg. So we're going to be here for the next week or so. So I'm going to hopefully get a chance to talk to some of the locals and some of the people from the Crow Nation and see what their stance on Bigfoot really is. But with that said, there is some reports found here in the Medicine Bow area of Bigfoot, and we're going to share one of those with you right now.
Right now? Is this when I get to do something?
That's when you get to do your thing.
Yay! Okay. So, do you want me to read all of this?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the report. My husband, parents, and I had set up camp in the Medicine Bow National Forest, which we are really close to.
Mm-hmm.
Our camp consisted of a fire ring, cooking table, large tent, and 3 vehicles. My parents slept in the tent and we slept inside our truck. My husband awoke at 5:30 a.m. to go elk hunting. He got dressed in the truck cab, then exited the cab and continued to get his hunting gear ready. He had gotten a late start, and it was beginning to lighten up outside. I sat up in the truck for a second. I'd be really concerned if she sat up in the trunk. I sat up in the truck for a second, and out the back window saw a black figure run between my parents' tent and the third vehicle. I only saw the figure for half a second, and I only saw the torso up. I had just woken up, and around the edge, and the edges of the truck window had a little fog around them, so I initially thought it was my husband, but he was still standing between the truck and the second vehicle. I laid back down and got to thinking about what I saw. I sat back up and started watching my husband move around the camp. He was wearing his camo overalls and a camo coat. The way he moved was slow and sluggish compared to what I'd seen earlier. My husband soon left to go hunting. Maybe 10 minutes later, my brother pulled into the campsite, parked his vehicle, and walked into the woods to go hunting. He too was dressed in camo and was nowhere near as smooth and fluid as what I saw running. Smooth and fluid seems to be coming up a lot. The animal I saw was black. It almost looked like it was wearing a hood up. There was no distinction between the head and the shoulders. It was smaller than my husband, both in height and in weight. My husband is 6 foot, 230 pounds. It looked slender. What impressed me the most was the speed and the smoothness of the running motion. The thing was fast. Again, we got that smooth and fluid thing going on. I can't imagine another person being in our camp. There was a road up a hill next to our campsite, and hunters were driving by here and there. Probably no more than 4 to 5 cars all morning. There were hunters all over the forest. The keys were in our four-wheeler, and all the vehicles were unlocked, so if it was a person nosing around, there was nothing left out the night before for someone to steal from camp other than the vehicles. It took me about 15 minutes of running the scenario through my mind over and over to realize what I saw. It was too late to get out and look for the animals, so I stayed in the warm truck a little longer until my parents started moving around camp. I looked all over the campsite for any prints, but found none. It had rained a day before, and the ground was somewhat wet, but I was unable to leave a footprint myself. I even tried jumping to make a print. I weigh 150 pounds. My father made a comment that something was making noise all night by the creek. He thought it was probably a porcupine. I asked my husband if he saw anything, and he did not. He's not the most observant person. That doesn't help when you're elk hunting. I also noticed my dog and I were alone at the campsite for 2 hours the day before. I felt like I was being watched. And so, anyway, on further investigation and further questioning of this witness. So she described the height of the creature.
Yeah.
As 5'8" to 5'10" and slender in build, so about my size.
Right.
I can't believe I'm calling myself slender. That's hilarious. She wants to get, and then she said, she kind of reiterates how fluidly the creature moved compared to her husband's movements, and there were no neck features giving a hoodie look.
Right.
So that no neck.
Right, the no neck thing. But what was very interesting, she said it was slender and only 5'8" to 5'10". Now, what I want to talk about tonight is there skinny Bigfoot? And what do you think? And how do we tell the difference between, like a person in a costume and a skinny Bigfoot? So I'm going to show you a video. Now, the origins of this video have been on several Bigfoot sites and several YouTube channels, and there's been 2 or 3 different people claiming that they took the video. So just like most of the time in the Bigfoot world, when you have Bigfoot videos or photographs and they get on the internet, you'll get 20 people claiming it's theirs, and so it's just kind of a nightmare. So I tend not to do that too much. But I want to show you this video, and like I said, I can't verify the origins at all. So there's a stop motion of the creature. So I don't know. Should I play that again?
Why don't you play that again?
Play that again. Play her again, Sam. Okay. Now, to me, those legs look, very, very slender. I think. What do you think?
Well, based on, in comparison to the stocky body, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, like some people draw stick figures, a big round body, and then the two little sticks coming out for legs.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks stickish. And I've never seen this because I don't watch this stuff.
Right. So they've been in the past other photographs that we know, like this one here. This was from a documentary from back in the, I think, like 60s, maybe early 70s.
I don't know. He looks like
remember
he's wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah. And we know for a fact that the guy who put this out was like a big faker. So faker.
No, look at how that.
All right. So if you look at, this is a very slender looking Bigfoot also. And then there's this one, which the origins of this one is, I believe this is the Russian one that was taken in Russia. And this one has a little more detail, a lot more detail actually.
Boobs.
Yeah, it has boobs. Okay, but
did I say that out loud?
I think you did. But anyway,
it's got boobs, folks.
But it's also very slender looking, compared to what the Patterson film was, So when you see these videos and see these photos and people talk about these short, slender Bigfoot, there's one thing that is my go-to to, I don't know, say debunking some of this stuff, or verifying some of this stuff. And that is, humans have measurements.
Proportional measurements.
Proportional measurements.
It doesn't matter whether you're 5 feet tall or 7 feet tall.
Right.
You got proportions.
You got proportions.
Human proportions.
Human proportions. So what you want to do is you look at first, are these creatures within the human proportions? Now, the darker one, the cowboy hat one, we'll call that.
He looks like he's wearing he does. He can't see. He looks like he's wearing a cowboy hat.
Right. So the cowboy Bigfoot.
And he kind of like has got a swagger going on.
Right. If you look at the cowboy Bigfoot, you can
John
notice.
Travolta happening
Yeah,
there.
you can notice that his the hands are reaching about the upper thigh of, and that's within human proportions.
Yeah. Go ahead, stand up. Drop your hands. Where do they fall?
Yep. But if you look at the one I think was the Russian one, if you look, its hands, if you were to figure out where they kind of hit when they put their hands down, that's closer to the knee.
That's still kind of hard to see. I'm actually looking at the face on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the face, it's got that broad nose, the deep set eyes, the straight slashy mouth.
Right. It kind of looks like it has a
mane.
Almost a dog man look at that one. But so when we compare the one in the video we saw,
it's really hard to see.
It's really hard to see, but I'm thinking that arms are reaching somewhere close to the upper thigh, which to me is indicative of a human.
It is hard to see. and in most of that video, it's not really walking erect.
Right.
It's kind of slumped over.
Right. So.
And bumbling about.
But.
Which humans are apt to do in the forest. They bumble.
But on the other side of that, are there 5 foot or 6 foot Bigfoot?
So I have a question for you.
What?
For our audience out there.
Mm-hmm.
I see that Cousin Dale is on there.
Yeah.
And you're here. And you come from the same genetic stream.
Okay.
You are 6'3" and he's 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, Dale. So there's 6 inches difference between the two of you. There's massive height discrepancy in different samples of human beings.
Right. So what I'm saying is all Bigfoot aren't going to be 8 foot tall. All adult Bigfoot, are they going to average 8 foot tall? Possibly, yeah. But from my own experience, I can tell you that there are
6 foot.
6 foot Bigfoot, and I can tell you how I know that. The photo right above us here, you can see that face looking at you through the trees. I took that photo myself. I saw that Bigfoot with my own 2 eyes. But then I took the time to take 3 days living in that spot in that woods, and we measured everything. We measured every tree, every rock, every inch.
I know, I was there completely bored.
She was. And we...
The dog with us, the dog was going, when's Dad coming back? I know, it's ridiculous. I just looked at her and said, I don't know.
We shot lasers through trees. We lined them up with stuff until we got the exact location down and the exact height. And trust me, I was down 200 feet down the hill standing there, and Hannah had the exact camera up on the hill, and I was taking pictures of her, taking pictures of me, and we were...
Hi, honey!
Yeah.
Doing all the silly stuff,
yeah.
too.
And she had the photo up, and she was looking at it, you know, and looking down the hill and saying, am I standing in the exact spot that you see this, you know? So what we did is we were able to basically map the distance, the height, and the angles, everything about this Bigfoot. So
we literally recreated the moment that Bigfoot was there in that spot looking through that tree.
Right. So we had the hole in the brush where it was looking through. If you notice underneath the photo down, I wish I could point to it, but there's a log laying across the road, and then there's trees in front of it that are making this opening that you're looking through. So we discovered that the hillside was a 32-degree downslope from where I was standing. I was 165 feet from me to where that log was, but where the creature was 44 feet behind that. So that dark blob to the, as you're looking at the right side of the Bigfoot there, that's the log. So in essence, that creature, the top of its head was right at 5 feet or 6 feet tall. And we found 9-inch footprints next to 15-inch footprints next to it where that was standing. So was this a 6 foot tall Bigfoot with 9-inch feet? Yes, it was. So I think it was a juvenile, of course. And I'm pretty sure that it'll grow up to be 8 feet tall, or 7'6", or I don't know. So there'll be. So tell me, what do you think? Somebody loves my diagram. Thank you very much.
That's World Bigfoot Radio.
Yes, thank you. So
He loves a good diagram.
I love a good diagram, and I love doing the science behind all this, and actually doing the archaeology to go along with, when I see something or when I find something, I want it documented and documented well.
By the way, Johnny, I did look up that documentary, so we'll be watching that. I've got it up on my computer. We'll watch that, and if you wouldn't mind, we're supposed to contact the guy who made this.
Are we? Okay.
So,
all right.
His name is Alexander something.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do. All right. Thanks. So probably we know Bigfoot have children, and do they stay with their parents until when? Teenagers? 21? 18? I don't know. I think one of the most famous ones is this photo here, is the Bigfoot, and I think this is called the Memorial Day footage. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it was a Bigfoot holding a child, and of course this one's got a lot of controversy behind it also, but
it looks pretty convincing.
But I always thought it looked, fairly convincing.
I mean, I'm just looking at the face on the right there. Does not look like a mask.
Right. And no neck.
No neck.
Go figure.
And the way that, in that footage, the way it throws the child, it kind of throws it up onto its back.
Yeah.
That's very primate-like.
Right.
Am I correct?
Well, in this one, actually, she held it close to her. Oh. And it pushed away once, and she pulled it back. Oh, that's
right. Well, so I'm totally an idiot.
No, you're not. So, dun dun dun.
Would you stop that?
So here we are.
Do we need to download some sound effect loops?
We do. That'd be great. I just like making my own. So talking today, here in the Medicine Bow area, we're going to be here for another 2 or 3 days in the general vicinity. Not in this exact spot. We're going to keep rolling along here, but
we're ambling along right now.
Yes. We'll be ambling through the area. So if you've got any stories or sightings, or know anybody who has any stories or sightings in the Medicine Bow area, please contact us. And we'd be happy to follow up on those and to talk with people. Because that's what we're out here for, is to get stories and start documenting the lifestyle of the rich and famous Bigfoot.
The
famous Bigfoot. They could be rich. Who knows? So
what makes rich?
What makes rich? Yep.
Quality of connections?
That's it. So
time to e-beg.
No, we're not going to e-beg.
Begging means you get nothing back.
Right. Exactly.
Here is our value-added content. For those who are interested in accessing our value-added content, we have Patreon memberships.
Yes, we do.
Do you want me to continue with that?
Yes, please. All right, continue.
So for the Squatch Americans level, which is our bottom tier, that sounds terrible, bottom tier, which is our introductory tier, you get a thank you letter crafted by me. And have you been checking your email? Does email notify you?
Yes, they should. They should. Yeah.
So
I haven't got any. So
okay, so you get a thank you letter. I write a really, really slam dunk good letter. Let me tell you what, and they will be. They're not going to be photocopied. Okay, I will write them myself. I should design some letterhead for us.
Oh, yeah, we go.
An exclusive Squatch American sticker, access to a monthly patron-only YouTube live chat. Patron-only blog posts and messages, and patron-only meetups. So, and then for the inner circle, Sounds like a cult. For the inner circle, you get all that plus access to even more exclusive content not available on YouTube or other social media pages, which include Facebook and now Parler. Squatch America is on Parler. I don't really know what that means because I really only do Facebook. It's part of my mission in life to make Facebook a more enjoyable experience. So if you want an enjoyable experience on Facebook, come to my page.
Yeah. No, we're putting stuff up on Parler because Parler is more open to anything.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Okay.
So
moving on.
yeah, because there's some stuff that we've put on. Like we did this jokey video about the beard bug, and
it was absolutely in jest, and it was about keeping Bigfoot safe, and they demonetized it.
Yeah, and Facebook
Joe?
blocked it, and it's
back now, but
yeah, it's just
we fought it, but it's like so if you I guess Parler is a little more open to people just being people. Anyway, access. So you also get a 10% discount on all ticketed events if we ever have those again, and all of our brand merchandise, which is on our website, squatchamerica.com. And also you get to provide input on our research via Inner Circle member polls. You might even be published.
There's my sound. Hey, sound effects are important. So, with that said, if you have any, shall we do something?
Do you want me to sing?
No.
Do you want me to announce my next entertainment gig?
No, we know.
Why? Because it's going to be an evening in the paddy wagon.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
All right,
quickly, but I got something
we've got 28 minutes left. What are you talking about quickly? We got to fill this space. So let's take we're going to take a break for station identification and seeing it. Yeah, I am the ultimate sponsor of this endeavor. We're coming into the holiday season. I'd love to know what your holiday plans are, if and indeed you are allowed to have holiday plans this year. However, the paddy wagon is not just our Squatch headquarters. Believe it or not, this is our home. And I try to make it a home. And so if you did not know, I am a musician. I was a professional musician from about the age of 15. Became a music teacher, both privately and publicly, and have always enjoyed adding to the lives of people through music. And so with the holiday season upon us, I want to announce on Sunday, December 13th, we will be going live from the paddy wagon with an evening of live Christmas vocal and piano music from me. And I think you'll really enjoy it. So it'll be live on Facebook, it'll be live on YouTube at the same time, and so it'll just be an hour of enjoying Christmas music live. So all the mistakes I make, you'll hear. You'll be able to say, hey, remember when Hannah really flubbed up?
Live,
yes.
That's awesome. So with that said, what I'm going to do is we're going to throw a little inside info right now.
Inside info?
Yeah. So I'm going to go out on a limb. So for those of you who are live with us tonight,
I don't even know what he's going to say.
Saturday, this Saturday, which the date would be
the
21st.
Okay.
Right? Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes, Saturday the 21st.
So Saturday the 21st, we will be in Douglas, Wyoming, and we'll be spending the day there all day, and we'll be at oh my gosh, I forgot. It's the city park there. Riverside City Park, all day in Douglas, Wyoming. And if you want to stop by and talk with us and meet us and get a sticker, and
you'll be talking to and meeting him. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm sorry.
And be
webinars all day.
talk some Sasquatch, we'll be there. So we thought we'd throw that out there. Well, I thought I'd throw that out there, so we can get into doing this. And this is what some of the patrons will be able to do shortly. So
you might think about having a Zoom chat.
we are with some people, yeah. And we want to get some of you guys, if you've got Bigfoot stories, please feel free to go to squatchamerica.com and fill out right there on the front of the page. There's a report form. Fill that out, and we can get you live via Zoom or Skype or one of those things on with us for an evening to talk about your experience. And that's something we want to start doing ASAP, as in maybe next Thursday. I don't know where we're going to be next Thursday.
Next Thursday's Thanksgiving. We will not be having a show.
Oh, that's right. We won't be having a show next Thursday.
So in
Thanksgiving.
2 Thursdays.
So we're going to be having a funeral with a lot of people for our turkey.
Our poor deceased pet turkey.
Yeah.
Pets are family too.
Yeah, pets are family, because you can have 30 people at a funeral and only 6 people for Thanksgiving in some locations in America. So we'll be having a funeral for our turkey, and our family will be there with us. So
thank you, Donna. This is my favorite hat. Okay, can I get girly for just a minute?
No.
Please? Please?
All right.
I love my hat, my sparkly, blingy dragonfly. I do have a Bigfoot hat. It is neither sparkly nor blingy, and the bling is the thing for me. So if y'all find any examples, any Bigfoot, blingy Bigfoot hats on sale that would fit my personality, my sparkling personality, please send me links. I will buy one. I would love to wear more Bigfoot themed merchandise, but quite frankly, I haven't found anything that's really super cute yet.
Right, and if you want to get your
Squatch America,
Squatch America hat,
it's a distressed dad hat. They're super cute.
They are.
Go to squatchamerica.com.
Go to squatchamerica.com and click on the shop
Yep.
button on top, and you can get that.
Yep.
So there, shameless plug.
Shameless plug. What are we doing for the next 22 minutes?
22 minutes? I don't know what to do for 22 minutes. It seems like I have all this great idea, and we blow through it in like 5 minutes. So
we need to get some sponsors and throw in commercials.
No, we don't. Oh, we don't.
Well,
you guys don't want to watch commercials,
not even for Dr. Squatch soap?
Maybe Dr. Squatch
or Daryl? We all love Daryl.
We all love Daryl, yeah. So, yeah.
Was this a dang good show?
This was a dang good show. So I don't know what we can go back to. Let's go back to
nothing. We could share with him that really, really funny Native American story I read today. It has nothing to do with Bigfoot.
Which funny one was that?
The one about the guy gathering wood for the winter. No. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all waiting with bated breath.
They are. So let's go back to here.
Okay, I was just gonna say, remember in high school speech class where you were told you had to give a 5 to 7 minute speech, and you swore up and down that you had like 11 minutes worth of stuff and didn't know how you were going to cram it all in, and when you got done with your speech it took like 2.5 minutes?
Exactly.
This is like every week.
It is. Yeah, it's like, back in theater class, and
you should be really good at this impromptu stuff.
I should be really good at the impromptu stuff back in theater class when I was in theater class, or when I was teaching theater class. What was that?
Maybe we finally have a ghost.
Is that the wind? Something just hit our back door out here in the woods.
I think our bathroom door just because you were bumping around.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that was kind of scary. So, yeah, maybe Bigfoot's looking through the window. Out here in Medicine Bow. Do, do, do. So,
Gordon wants to know, what are the historic sighting reports in the area that we're in? Well, we just shared one.
we shared one. There's that one. There's a few other.
Sadly, I think Scott mentioned that there are no documented crow legends or crow teachings about Bigfoot in this area.
Right.
Doesn't mean they don't exist. It means that they didn't document them. They haven't shared them. So, but yeah, we've actually been researching this area for days.
Yep, we have. And while she's vamping,
am I gonna vamp?
we're going
You
to
don't
look.
want me to vamp. Anyway, so we want to look. I think we need to switch this to Zoom as fast as we can and stream on Zoom onto Facebook. That way people can actually talk to us real time.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
You know what would actually be really helpful? A lot of our other YouTubing compadres out there, they actually ask people to email them their questions. So if you have questions for us that you want us to address on an upcoming show, please email us. I will say that there is really only one person in our audience who has done that, and he's not on tonight. Danny has done that frequently. And so if you've got something specific you want us to look at, please send it to us. Don't wait until the night of, because if you wait till the night of, then you're going to watch this guy do this.
What am I doing?
You're sitting there looking at your computer screen.
I am. I'm looking for other...
We're in Niobrara County.
Yes, we are. Oh, you're not supposed to tell people that.
Well...
And there's...
I know.
So, I was looking. That's way over there.
Sheridan.
So, if we're going to jump over here... And
so we'll just take a random report from Sheridan County, which isn't too far from us.
Right. And we're going to move us over here.
Okay. I'm more comfortable there anyway.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here we have, this was off US Highway 14. We're on US Highway 18 right now. So,
yep.
So it's not too far.
Not too far.
So there are 3 people that went into the forest with their slingshots to find some squirrels. I will not spend this time to go into my diatribe against hunting for fun. We had been coming to this place for years, every September for our church retreat. The elk were just starting to come into rut, and we could hear them bugling up the higher plateaus as we were hiking in. We were about a mile or so northwest of the lodge. There was a barbed wire fence cutting through the woods here and on either side of it for about 10 to 15 yards. The trees were younger, ranging from 4 to 8 feet tall. It was apparently cleared for the making of the fence. We decided it would be easier to walk alongside the fence for a while. We went another few hundred yards, and as we rounded a bend, my friend stopped suddenly. I was following, and so I stopped as well. I thought maybe we'd walked up on something. My friend turned and looked at me and whispered, "Do you see that?" That's exactly how I would say it too. Loud stage whisper.
Yeah.
I couldn't see as there was a small pine in my way. I started to ease forward, and as the tree moved out of my way, I just froze at what I saw. At first I thought it was a large bear, but discounted that idea immediately. It was like a massive human-like animal covered in a dark, coarse-looking hair. Like a black bear, but not as thick in all areas. Ooh, that sounds like that trail cam picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know. The face, chest, inside elbow area, and hands were nearly bare. It was around 8 feet tall, and I would say it weighed between 450 to 550 pounds. It had shoulders that were extremely wide, that sort of slumped forward. Its arms were phenomenally long and thick, unlike human arms that stop at the thigh and they're skinny. They hung far below the thigh area, and the hands weren't as large but still very big. They were more thick than long. The buttocks were unproportionately large. They didn't seem to fit the animal. They too were very muscular looking.
And that's kind of interesting there, because if you look at the photos of Patty from Pattersonville when we were walking by,
Got some good butt shots there.
Yeah. So that's another thing.
Do they have big butts?
Yes.
They got big butts. They like big butts and they cannot lie?
Exactly.
Okay. The head of the animal seemed to be plopped right onto the shoulders. If the thing had a neck, it wasn't any more than 3 to 4 inches long. The face was somewhat like a man's and somewhat like a gorilla. We're about 15 to 20 yards from it. So that's roughly, let's say, 60 feet. It stood there seemingly observing us, and we crouched there observing it. This went on for at least 2 minutes. Then it took a small step to the left and forward, partially blocking our view of it from about the crotch down. You could hear it breathing like it had been running to get where it was. Then my friend yelled at it, saying, very funny, who's in the ape suit. We scolded him, telling him to shut up. I could tell it wasn't a joke. This, whatever it was a real animal. Then it made a noise, not really a growl, but more like a deep cough. Like it was clearing its throat, but quite louder, like a coughing bark.
And I've heard that in the photo I took. That's how I located that Bigfoot. We smelt it first, and I couldn't locate where it was because it was down that hill in that little opening behind some trees. And I heard that huff. I heard a
Yeah.
And so I heard it, and I was looking in the direction I heard it, but I couldn't pinpoint where it came from. So I did it back to it. I went, and then it went back at me. So that's when I located it.
That's that coughing bark.
The coughing bark. Yep.
Okay.
I've heard that.
Yeah, they say it's really hard to describe a noise you've never heard before with words. That's a pretty good description, though.
Yep.
That did it for us. So we turned and sprinted down the fence line, took a cut through the woods, blah, 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 blah. So they told... they went back. We searched for 2 to 3 hours. Other than smashed grass and currant bushes, we found nothing. You could see where something heavy had stood, then proceeded in the opposite direction we'd fled. He didn't know what to think of it. They were believed. He said he had heard here and there about the animal that they call Bigfoot, but not in these parts, and he wasn't so sure about such an animal even existing, which is pretty standard. Yeah. So go down. All right. So there's some follow-up investigation. What if you were, without reading that, because that's not your stuff, how would you respond to that report if you were investigating this?
Well, there's some stuff that's really sticks out. Is one, the length of the arms, the neck, the big butt, the coughing sound. There's things that you look for in a report when you get from people. There's commonalities between reports. And you hear people say, well, I saw this and it looked like a guy and he was, skinny and tall and, well, maybe not that tall, and it didn't smell bad and didn't make any sound, and it was tripping a lot over its feet. There's stuff like that.
If it's bumbling, it's probably human.
It's probably
that's what
human.
we do in the woods, is we bumble.
But if you hear stuff like there's no neck, there's this horrible smell.
It was smooth.
It was smooth and gliding. The arms were long.
It had a big butt.
And I cannot lie. But there's stuff like that commonalities that really kind of stand out to an investigator.
Like the face looked like a man, but also like a gorilla.
Yeah, you get that a lot. It's frightened. It is frighteningly human,
but not.
Yeah.
So we have a question. Do you always bring casting material to cast a print? Could you explain what you bring and what to do? I want to start carrying some with me on walks. Thanks.
Yes, I do. I always have a casting kit with me.
Didn't you do a YouTube video?
I did a YouTube video on how to cast in the snow, which can be done, by the way. So if you got a print that's in the snow, you can cast that too. There's just a few little precautions you got to do. But
when you go out, what do you take with you?
What I take with me is there's several things you can use. There's plaster Paris. There's what's that? It's gosh, the name's out of my head, but it's a dental rock that you can buy that's hard to get a hold of. But what I found works the best is you go to any hardware store and there's this stuff called Fix All. Fixall. Fix All. Fix All is like a cement patch kit stuff you can buy in a little box. Fix All works great. It's and you mix it with the water until it's like kind of runny pancake, not quite pure liquid, but kind of a runny pancake consistency. And then when you put it into the footprint, you want to kind of drizzle it in slowly, so you're not going, if you just dump it in there, you're going to deform the print with it. So you want to gently put it into the print until you've got it covered deep. And then about 20 minutes later, you can pull it off the ground and then wash it off and you'll be great. So that's what I use, is this stuff called Fix All. That's the best. And if you want to print in, if you want to cast in the snow, there's a few things. There's something you have to carry with you. There's one of two things. You can use like a spray paint, just regular old spray paint, or hairspray works really well. And what you want to do is spray the snow with the hairspray first, or the spray paint. And what that does is it puts that slight barrier between your Fix-All and the snow, because Fix-All gets hot when it dries. But if you got that slight barrier in there, which spray paint or hairspray will conform to the shape, so you won't lose the shape of it. And what that does is that edge of that Fix-All will set up first, and when it gets hot, it won't melt through. It'll give that spray paint, gives it enough of an insulator to keep it from melting down into the snow. So there is that. What else is happening out there?
I don't know. Gordon, thank you so much for your recommendation. I have just joined the Res Squatching Research Group on Facebook. I've joined us up, and so hope to be hearing back from them.
Awesome.
That man is just a wealth of knowledge.
Yep.
We love you so much. It's true. So
we need to get him on the air.
We need to get you on the air. Come on.
So.
And if you don't want your face seen, that's okay. We can do it through audio as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, we are down to 7 minutes.
What?
We're current on all the comments. We really are.
We really are?
We really are. Yep.
Awesome. So, any last minute stuff?
Honestly, we would, John says he's working. John! So good to see you on here. John bought a shirt and it looks great on him. He sent us a picture. Please, honestly, if you buy our merch and you wear it, please send us a picture. We will throw you up on our Facebook page. Like, we need to throw John up on his.
Oh, we do.
Yes, we will do that.
If it's okay, John.
Yeah, if it's okay. We are planning on enjoying Thanksgiving. We are going to a state that's not quite as what's the word? Constricted.
Yeah.
It's
restricted.
Restricted. So we will be able to be with our grandkids and our some of our kids. Let's see. I was going to say something and then I saw John's comment and now it's like the total train of thought is derailed and crashed hard on the track in my head. But anyway, okay. I don't know. I'm completely lost now.
Okay.
That was my vamping ability.
Yeah,
you saw it.
Which was nil.
It was horrible.
So, all right. So I actually got to answer a question. Thank you very much for the question.
We like good questions.
We like great questions. And we like doing research, and we like the ideas that you guys give us. Thank you very much.
We don't know everything. That's why we're researchers. We want to know everything. And the hypothesis that we're working on is that the Bigfoot species has a culture and predictable behavior patterns. And if we get enough live reports, we'll be able to put those together and start tracking like that.
Yeah.
Rather than casting for prints all the time and knocking baseball bats on trees and hooping and who were you watching today? They were hooping and hollering.
Yeah, some idiots. Okay.
Yeah, he was watching idiots today. So.
Yeah.
So, that's we're working from a place of curiosity and inquiry.
Yeah.
And so we aren't here to demonstrate our prowess. We are here to ask questions and to give what knowledge we do have. So,
so wish us well tomorrow, driving in 40-mile-an-hour winds again. Hopefully not.
According to Outdoors RV, they say that these trailers will stay upright up to 70 miles an hour. So, 70 mile an hour winds. So,
and you guys all know the history of Wyoming and the winds in Wyoming. They're famous.
Actually, the winds in South Dakota were nothing to laugh at. In fact, 2 nights ago, I was up almost all night. I could not go to sleep because the wind was so loud and shaking the trailer.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
So, all right. Well, 3 minutes. So, thank you, as always. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you. If you would please like and share and go to squatchamerica.com and subscribe to the newsletter that we're supposed to be putting out once a month.
Coming soon, like within the next day or two, by the way.
Actually, I sent one out at the end of October.
Right.
I sent out a newsletter. So if you're not subscribed, you are missing out on things like discount coupons for merchandise and our upcoming schedule. Now, you do understand that schedules right now are kind of theoretical. Let's give them a little hint. We're looking for reports from Nevada.
Dun, dun, dun. I know, weird, Nevada, huh? Is there Bigfoot in Nevada? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go to our website, give us some love there, sign up, do all those things. And remember, our job is to...
Oh, wait.
Get there already. Our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
And so, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week. And until then, keep it squatchy.
And go out and look for Bigfoot.
Bye.